Look around your neighborhood. The guy with the BMW in the driveway is broke. The woman posting vacation photos from Bali is one paycheck away from panic. And the family with the boat parked out front is drowning in debt they can't escape. Here's what nobody wants to admit. Most Americans aren't poor because they don't make enough money. They're poor because they're spending money they don't have to impress people they don't even like. I'm Michael Stone, and in the next 7 minutes, I'm going to show you the psychological trap that's keeping millions of Americans broke and how to recognize if you're caught in it right now. This video is about status signaling, the invisible force that makes people destroy their financial futures just to look successful. And if you're over 40, this matters more than you think. Younger people can recover from bad money decisions. You don't have that luxury. Every dollar you waste on status is a dollar that won't be there when you retire. I've spent 8 years working in banking and personal finance, and I've watched this pattern ruin people over and over again, not because they're stupid, but because nobody ever explained how their own brain was working against them. If you're watching right now, comment your city so I can thank you in the next video too. Now let's talk about what's really happening with your money. Status signaling is when you buy things not because you need them, but because you want other people to think you're successful. It's the $60,000 truck when a $25,000 sedan would do the job. It's the designer handbag that costs 3 months of groceries. It's the vacation you put on a credit card because your coworkers are posting theirs on Instagram. The problem is your brain doesn't care if you can afford it. Your brain just wants respect. And in America, we've been trained to believe respect comes from what we own. Here's the real cost of looking rich. Say you buy a $50,000 car instead of a $30,000 car. That's a $20,000 difference. Finance it at 7% over 5 years, and you're really paying about $23,000 for that extra status. But if you invested that same $20,000 and earned 8% annually for 20 years, it would grow to about $93,000. One decision to look successful just cost you nearly $100,000 in retirement money, and that's just one purchase. Multiply that across your house, clothes, furniture, gadgets, everything. So why do we do this? Psychology. Humans are wired to compare themselves to others. It's called social comparison, and it's in our DNA. Thousands of years ago, belonging to the group meant survival. Being excluded meant death. Your brain is constantly scanning. Am I keeping up? Do I belong? Am I falling behind? In modern America, belonging equals consumption. You see your neighbor's new deck and your brain says you need one too or you're losing status. You see your sister's kitchen renovation and suddenly your kitchen feels embarrassing. You see your friend's European vacation and think you can't be the only one who didn't travel this year. None of this is rational. These are emotional reactions to perceived status threats. This is where credit cards come in and where things turn ugly. Most people can't afford the lifestyle they're signaling, so they borrow. The average American household with credit card debt is about $17,000. At 22% interest, that's roughly $3,740 a year just in interest, money burned for nothing. But they keep swiping because stopping would mean admitting they can't afford the life they're pretending to live. That feels like failure. So they stay trapped, working to pay interest on things they didn't need, bought to impress people who don't care with money they never had. If this is making sense so far, stay with me because this next part actually fixes the problem. Here's the truth. Real wealth is invisible. The millionaire next door isn't driving a Porsche. They're driving a paid-off Toyota. They're not posting luxury vacations. They're maxing out retirement accounts. People with real money don't need to signal status because they already have something better, financial security. Breaking the cycle starts with recognizing the pattern. Pay attention to your purchases and ask one brutal question. Am I buying this because I need it or because I want someone to see it? If the answer involves other people's opinions, that's status signaling. Next, understand the trade-off. Every dollar you spend on status is a dollar you're not using to build wealth. A luxury car payment could be retirement contributions. Designer clothes could be a down payment. You're not choosing between buying and not buying. You're choosing between looking rich now and being secure later. Then redefine success. Stop measuring your worth by what you own. Start measuring it by what you owe or don't owe. The goal isn't the nicest house on the block. The goal is sleeping at night knowing an emergency won't destroy you, knowing you won't be broke at 70, knowing you're not trapped. Finally, limit your exposure. If social media makes you feel behind, use it less. If certain friends constantly push you to spend, see them less. You can't compare yourself to people you're not watching. Here's what you can do this week. Pull up the last 3 months of bank and credit card statements. Highlight every purchase that was about status, not necessity. Add it up. That number is what your ego is costing you. Pick one status expense and cut it. Cable, eating out, a car lease, and redirect that money automatically to savings or debt. Then talk to one financially stable person and ask how they actually live. You'll notice how boring it sounds. That's not a flaw, that's the point. Real wealth is boring. Status signaling is expensive. Before we finish, comment below and tell me which city you're watching from. I read these and shout out cities in the next video. If this opened your eyes, hit like and subscribe. Next week, I'm breaking down the single biggest retirement mistake Americans make in their 50s, and it's not what you think. It can cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars. This is Michael Stone. Your money works better when you understand it.